Hello everyone, it's that time again. Time for another, this is Commentary with Ozzy Rose. Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having a great day on this windy, sunshiny Thursday. I had a great day. I went strutting today. I didn't plan on going for as long as I did, but I got in, I know, at least 2 full hours today. And it was good to see everybody out there today, the hand signals and the cars and the honks. Y'all know I love it, Jonesboro, Arkansas. I truly do. The topic for this commentary segment is in shape. That's right, in shape. I can't afford to get out of shape, and I'll tell you why. If I do, this is what's going to come back. The terrific back pain from 2 broken vertebrae and 2 pinched nerves in my back. The severe sleep apnea where I have to use an oxygen tank at night and a small ventilator. Severe arthritis pain. I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have peripheral neuropathy. And I don't want none of those things to come back. That's why I can't afford to get out of shape, and I truly can't. And then you know what comes after that? The physical stuff comes. Then comes the emotional and the mental problems. So this staying in shape works for me, physically, emotionally, mentally. Now it don't work spiritually. I have a strong connection with my Lord and Savior. So that's the fourth thing that's taken care of right there. Do I sin every day? You bet I do. That's why every night I pray for the Lord to forgive me of my sins. Because I know I'm a sinner, and I know I'm going to sin every day. But that's why I named this commentary segment "In Shape." I had to be in shape in every department, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. That's what works for me, and that's what I know most of you strive for. You strive to be fit in all those departments. And I know that some of you can't be. I understand that too, from severe disabilities. Some cannot do what I did, got in shape and stuff like that. And I get that, and I understand that wholeheartedly. There's some people that don't even have legs that way they could walk. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand those who cannot get in shape. There is some that cannot. Then there's some that choose not to and that could. I was one of them that chose not to. I did for a lot of years, and then I was suffering so bad still, emotionally, mentally. Besides the physical part, I didn't have the spirituality like I should have had at the time, and I was addicted to a drug and a drink. So I was in miserable shape, you could say, in every fucking department, and that's the truth, And I was. When I look back on me now, it was really a kind of a pathetic life, and it truly was. And when the good Lord gave me the vision, the first vision was to get in shape. That would be the key to taking care of everything in my life. I thought, well, what do I have to lose? My life? And I laughed about that because I took it 5 times and they brought me back. So I thought, why not give it a try? So I did. I didn't get in shape in the gym the first time around. I didn't. I got in shape my way, which was the hard way. I would put 200 pounds of stones in a backpack and have it around my neck, and I would exercise all during the some of the day, running with them. Then I'd be crawling with them. That's the first time I got in shape. Was kind of like that, if you know what I mean. The manual way, I guess you could say. Then when I got in shape, then the Lord gave me the vision for the strutting thing, and and I originally started this in Paragould, Arkansas, where I was, the town I was born in. I wasn't raised there, but I originally started it there a little over 2 years ago. The only thing was, I got in shape. I was doing the strutting thing in Paragould, but I was still abusing the drug and the drink, if you will, methamphetamine and 100 proof peppermint schnapps. And it really come to a head. I just really couldn't do it anymore, is what happened. I've been hooked on them for 4 years, and I hadn't seen my doctor in a very long time. I went and seen him. I said, well, you know how you used to say you were so proud of me because I never got hooked on a drug and a drink, and that's why you never said nothing to me about my smoking, even though I had emphysema? He goes, yeah. I go, now I'm hooked on a drug and a drink. And so I broke down in his office, and he told me what to do, so that's what I did. He told me, hey, I want you to go to the hospital. At that time, it's called Arkansas Methodist Hospital in Paragould. Tell them what you told me. They'll have someone from St. Bernard Behavioral come pick you up. You'll go through their system, then they'll get you into a treatment center. So that's what I did. And I wound up going from there to the Crisis Center at St. Bernard Behavioral Health. Then I went from there to the treatment center, Arista Health, down in Searcy, Arkansas, for the 30-day program. And I got out of shape kind of when I was in there. I'd done all the mopping for all the men's side and the offices, for staff. I've done all the mopping, done some of the sweeping too, to pass my time away. It didn't really keep me in shape much. So when I got out, well, before I got out, a guy named Simple Dixon said, "Hey, do you want to go back to Truman or Paragould?" I said, "Fuck no." He said, "You want to go to Jonesboro?" I said, "That'll work." Because I hadn't lived in, last time I lived in Jonesboro, I was like 4.5, 5 years old, and that was in Nettleton, and at the time, it was not a part of Jonesboro. So I said, that'll work, because, I didn't know any drug dealers here. Not only that, there's no liquor stores, so I thought that would work, and that's what happened. I got sent to a chem-free sober living house, and I wound up staying there about 14 months, but about 2 weeks into being there, the Lord kept bugging me to get back in shape and do the strutting thing, and I really didn't want to do the strutting thing. For some reason, I just really didn't want to do it. I talked about it with some friends. I said, but the Lord keeps bugging me with it. And they said, well, you better go with it. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I made a deal with the Lord that I would get in shape in a gym and on the streets to do the strutting thing, and I'll do the strutting thing. But if it does not go over well here, Lord, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'll stay in shape, but I won't do it anymore, the strutting thing. So I started getting in shape in the gym at Planet Fitness. Then I did it some at Workout Anytime too. Then I was doing it on the streets too. And I started doing the strutting thing while I was doing it on the streets, getting in shape too. And what happened was that by the time I got fully in shape and the full throttle, full strutting thing, it went over really well here. It went over good in Paragould. But what happened to me in Paragould, people kept calling the law on me, and the law kept stopping me every day. Now, don't get me wrong, Paragould PD wasn't harassing me, and they were nice. They would always say, well, we got another call, Ozzy. Are you doing okay? You staying hydrated? And I'd tell them, yeah, and they'd say, okay, and they'd go on. But it went over well here. I think even more so, because I only got to do it for about, I think, 2.5, 3 months in Paragould. But like I said, I got out of shape kind of down in the treatment center, so it was really hard on me getting in shape, and I wound up breaking my knee on the treadmill, not by falling either. I was doing 10 miles a day on it. I stress broke it, but I still kept working out on the streets, working out with weights in the gym. Then I wound up breaking my foot. But during both these broken bones, I was still strutting on the streets with a broken knee and a broken foot up until they healed. That was just me. And because I looked at it like this, if I didn't stay in shape with them 2 broken bones, the pain would have been really bad. So that's why. And the Lord was just working through me anyways. It goes to show you, folks, what can happen to, at the time I was 57, with a broken knee and a broken foot, and I'm out here strutting. I couldn't do it. He works through me. And I'm just an instrument of him. That's it, So, but it was really tough on me to get back in shape. I wound up stress breaking the foot, stress breaking the knee. But, I still was doing the strutting thing on the streets during both them broken bones. I was still lifting the weights in the gym, So it was just the Lord working through me. And if I'd have sat down like them doctors wanted me to do when I had the broken knee and the broken foot, the pain, I just couldn't have took it. The pain was bearable. I'll put it like that. So that's why staying in shape for me totally works, because it takes care of the 2 broken vertebrae, 2 pinched nerves in my back. I don't have back pain. I have severe arthritis, but I don't have no pain from it. I've got rheumatoid arthritis too. Have no pain from it. I have peripheral neuropathy, no pain. That's why if I get out of shape, I'm royally fucked. And that's just the best way of putting it, and I wouldn't want to live, to be honest with you. And then here comes the emotional and the mental problems along with it. So that's what works for me. And I know it works for a lot of you out there. It really touches my heart when I see people, when I'm out here strutting, I see people walking, jogging, when I see people in gyms working out, coming out of them, I know what it does, and they do too. And I know y'all do too. So that's what works for me, is staying in shape, So that's going to be about a wrap for this commentary segment. And of course, the topic was in shape. And for all of you that stays in shape out there, more power to you, So long, everybody. God bless you all.